Honorable Mr. Justice Budi Abang, Judge of the Guwahati High Court, Shri Rupin Sharma, IPS, Director General of Police, Nagaland, Shri V. Keso, Commissioner and Secretary, Health and Family Welfare, Nagaland, Shri Anup Kinchi, IAS, Commissioner and Secretary, Land Justice, Nagaland, Shri Ajungba Imchen, Registrar, Guwahati High Court, KOHIMA Branch, esteemed members from the judiciary, police, and medical fraternity of Nagaland, distinguished guests, sisters and brothers. It is with great honor that I stand before you today as we convene to address two critical legislations that are pivotal to the well-being and future of our society, namely the protection of children from sexual offences or POCSO Act 2012 and the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances of NDPS Act 1985. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you, esteemed members of the judiciary, dedicated prosecutors, vigilant law enforcement officers, and compassionate medical professionals. Your unwavering commitment to upholding the principles of justice and protecting the well-being of our society is truly commendable. It is your dedication and tireless efforts that serve as the bedrock of our legal system and ensure that the rule of law prevails. Nagaland, our beloved state, is not immune to the complexities and intricacies of the criminal justice landscape. We face unique challenges that demand our attention and concerned efforts to overcome. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 stands as a beacon of hope in our quest and shield of our children from the trauma of sexual abuse and exploitation. However, the effective implementation and enforcement of this legislation are hindered by a myriad of challenges. Similarly, the scourge of the drug abuse and trafficking continues to ravage our communities, posing a grave threat to public health and safety, especially that of our youth. The Narcotic Drugs and Physiotropic Substances Act 1985 aims to fight drug abuse and trafficking, but it is imperative that we confront the local obstacles that impede its efficacy. Armed with the challenges facing our criminal justice system are the geographical constraints that hinder access to remote areas, the scarcity of resources and infrastructure, and the cultural nuances that influence perceptions of crime and justice. Additionally, the prevalence of traditional dispute resolution mechanisms and the stigma surrounding certain crimes often deter victims from seeking resource through formal legal channels. It is incumbent upon us to acknowledge these challenges and work collaboratively to address them. We must prioritize the training and capacity building of our law enforcement personnel, judiciary, and medical professionals to ensure a more effective response to cases of child sexual abuse and drug related offenses. Moreover, we must engage with the local communities to raise awareness, dispel myths, and foster trust in the formal justice system. Furthermore, we must leverage technology and innovation to overcome the geographical barriers and streamline processes for assessing justice. ICT enablement of courts, remote video conferencing, telemedicine, and online reporting mechanisms are just a few examples of how we can harness technology to enhance the efficiency and accessibility of our justice system. We are discussing two subjects mainly. The number one is POCSO. The second one is about the drugs abuse. Actually, long back I remember, I am from Tamil Nadu, you must be knowing that, some 30 years back. From my young age, I was associated with some organization. So, a person belonging to my organization, but he is from Nagaland, Northeast states. He came to Tamil Nadu and he addressed us. About that, he explained about the situation prevailing in the Northeast states. I remember one sentence, even now I remember that. I want to say about the culture of Nagaland, I will say, only one sentence he said. In the midnight, suppose a young lady wants to go from his place to other, suppose a parent's house, alone, without any help. She can travel by walk and reach that place and she will not be harmed at all. There is no problem. That is the culture of Nagaland. This is what he told me 30 years ago. Even now I remember that. Now we are discussing about POCSO. What is the reason for it? It is not only Nagaland. I'm only quoting example about what the Nagaland was at that time, 30 years ago. Now the present position, we have to discuss about the POCSO Act. Why? What is the reason? The second subject is the first subject you have to discuss. The reason for all these cases, increase in the number of cases in the POCSO Act, is only because of the second, drug abuse. Because of the drug abuse, the POCSO cases are also more in number. That we have to understand that. And as far as the drug abuse is concerned, I will tell you, I am addressing this particular subject about this, I am addressing to many people in many meetings. And India is now proud to say that India is young India. Mane kya? That means the population of India, the youngsters are more in number. So that is the confidence that gives to us, not only to me, even to the Honorable Prime Minister, that we can make anything, the World Committee of Nations, that we can become number one country. The strength of the youth, number of population of the youth. But at the same time, I read one more report, that also in the newspapers. As far as the drug addicts are concerned, youths are more in number. So you have to read both. Then I have to come to a conclusion. I have come to a conclusion. It is not, naturally it is not done. The world, there are many people are there. I don't want to mention the names of the nations, particularly our neighboring nations. They want to see that India should not progress. And knowing well that India youths are more in number, they wanted to spoil the youths of our country. When youths are spoiled, no question of planning about the progress of the country, or as our Hon'ble Prime Minister says that we will Viksit Bharat and India will become now from 5th position to 3rd position. All those things is very difficult to achieve. So that way the nations who are inimical to our country, they are planning that deliberately, they want to spoil our young folks. Why am I telling this? Because I am in Nagaland. Not only I am in Nagaland, I am responsible for whatever that is happening in Nagaland, being a governor. So China, may not be in your subject for discussion. China, you know well, we are in Nagaland, and China wants to spoil India. And the root is, Burma is our neighboring country, Myanmar. And we are close to Myanmar. Not only that, I can say, some of the people in Myanmar, they are our family members. Nagas are there in Myanmar, Nagas are there in Nagaland. Same family is divided into both these territories. But central government is thinking of preventing this drug smuggling. That is why they are thinking about abolition of FMR. That is why they want to put a boundary, fencing. But unfortunately, the people, I understand the feeling of the people. They are my family members. Why unnecessarily you divide us? I agree with that. The central government thinking is like that only, to prevent the drug smuggling. Once it comes in, within 24 hours it will reach Tamil Nadu. Of course, now the people are caught here and there. With all the much difficulties, our friend, he has to face all those problems, but we cannot say that. But I can say. But at the same time, though I have got this idea, while addressing the assembly as a governor, I myself has requested the central government to go slow as far as implementing the FMR or putting a fencing. Because you have to educate the people, make them understand, yes, what the central government is doing is right. It is not to prevent our Naga people coming here and going there. It is to prevent these unwanted elements, anti-national, anti-social elements. And because of that, to save our own youth forces. So this, I request all of these people, highly intellectual people are here, sitting here. From your mouth, it should be spread, unless you educate them. But I don't want anything, the central government to rush in implementing abolition of FMR or putting fence. First, educate the people, convince the people. Our Nagaland people are highly educated. They will understand, easily they will understand. And then they also agree, yes, you can put the fence, you can prevent smuggling from all these drugs inside. So that way, as we convene today, let us approach the deliberation of this workshop with a sense of urgency, compassion, and determination. Let us seize this opportunity to deepen our understanding of the issues at hand, share best practices, and chart a course of action that will make a tangible difference in the lives of those we serve. Let us use this workshop as a platform to exchange ideas, learn from each other's experience, and build a partnership that will benefit our communities. By doing so, we can make meaningful progress in strengthening Nagaland's criminal justice system. In closing, let us remember that the true measure of our success lies not only in the laws we enact or the cases we prosecute, but in the lives we touch and the future we safeguard. Together, let us strive to be beacons of hope, champions of justice, and guardians of our children's dreams. Together, we have the power to shape a brighter, safer, and more inclusive future for our beloved Nagaland. Thank you. Jai Hind.